So what Craftworks does is it allows people to design their own touchscreen surface for for example, like 3D modeling. We're talking about 3D printers there. It allows people to, you can kind of see the picture right there, but it pretty much, like for this software here is that we're running as Blender, and what Craftworks allows them to do is pretty much like every function on Blender is a button on there, so you don't have to go digging through like menus and whatnot. You really don't even need like a keyboard per se. Here's kind of an example of, you can kind of see with this screen here, you know, you can control, there's a few different things. There's like a mouse there. The one there allows the person to control the object on the screen, and then the one to the left of it allows someone to control the plane. So really, you don't even really need a mouse to operate like a 3D software in that case there. And then we designed one, and again, like our big philosophy is if you don't like the way we've designed a screen, you can design your own. And you can even put like a little button, you know, put like if you like your you know, a lot of people like that feel of analog. So like these little devices, you can get that analog feel on a digital device. But for like video editing, you know, pretty much like replaces like a lot of those big like colored keyboards you see a lot in like video editing. And again, with the philosophy of a lot of our screens, allows like pretty much like every function, in this case here, Final Cut Pro, it gives the person like, you know, you don't have to dig through a bunch of menus, like your cut, copy, paste are all like really handy there. And like even with like Photoshop, you can throw a pad down on it, and then all the functions of Photoshop are handy for you. And then we originally designed it around music, and we were running a program out of Detroit that teaches kids with disabilities how to, you know, electronics and like music, and kind of grew from there. And so, but again, like I'm sorry, like I'm off track because I don't have my presentation up, but so it allows people to design you know, like physical devices as well. We have a scripting language behind it, and you can pretty much like emulate like a lot of devices that are out there. Like you could do like the DJ turntable stuff. You can design it any way you want it to look. We include something called DMX lighting protocol in it. So like people like stage lighting and whatnot, they can do that. And then like recording engineers, you know, if you see in a lot of recording studios like all the buttons and whatnot. And again, with like our scripting language, like if a person wants to, like a recording engineer, they may want to monitor like the levels in the studio, so they could write a script and paste down buttons and kind of have it react to the script. You know, and it runs on tablets, and then like that's like a Microsoft Surface or something, I think. And then we got it running on a Raspberry Pi there with Windows IoT, Windows 10 IoT. And you can even use it for games. There's a mouse and keyboard driver, and you can have it as like a controller for games. We tie in with something called X-Plane Flight Simulator, so you can, again, like you can model like your flight simulator the way you want it. And I think that's about it on this one, yeah. Right now we're bootstrapped. We've been developing this for about 2 years now. We're getting ready to do a launch on Indiegogo and see if we can generate some more capital from there. But that's about it. Questions?
So you guys are just software?
Just software. Okay, but we plan maybe to you know, maybe sell some hardware on the side, but mainly software.
So do you guys set like the minimum specs then for like if you're going to be using, it needs to be an iPad Air?
Yeah,
Like from
yeah.
a latency standpoint, I'm
Yeah.
wondering, 'cause-
Well, first of all, we tie, and again, like I kind of forgot, like what was all in my presentation, but we tie in with a bunch of different protocols, and like MIDI is one of them, Open Sound Control, Copperland's another one, and when it comes down to music, it's really important to have that like really low latency kind of feeling, especially with like we have a keyboard there, and I should talk about the keyboard a little bit. The keyboard, it's so when you step down to a regular traditional keyboard, you have like the C major scale, and all the keys that are in the C major scale are the white keys. All the keys that aren't in the C major scale are the black keys, essentially. So what we've done with the touchscreen on the keyboard side is kind of redesigned it now, so where you can type in a scale, you can say I want it to be A sharp minor inverse scale. So all the keys that are in the A sharp minor inverse scale become the white keys. All the keys that aren't in the A sharp minor scale become the black keys. And what it kind of does is it allows people that may not have a large musical background to like immediately pick up on like music theory and pretty much like every note you play is going to be a good note. And it's kind of interesting, but again, back to your question, like the latency is like a huge issue with that, and each monitor is, like tablets are pretty good with like, their screens and the millisecond delay there, and then as you kind of step up, it gets a lot slower, like you get into the big format touchscreens. However, like ones manufactured in about the last 6 months have been really good in like the latency. And one kind of thing you can do with a monitor is like kind of like drag your finger across, and you can kind of see where the mouse cursor kind of trails along, and the closer that mouse cursor is to your finger, is the faster, is the better the response time on the monitor.
So with the 3D CAD,
Yeah.
perfect. So,
Yeah.
Which is Blender the only program you work with?
For now, but it's really easy for us to do like 3D Studio. What's the other one? Max. Solid, like yeah. So it's really easy. And plus we have, if it doesn't directly support the software, if our mouse drivers and keyboard drivers aren't specifically designed for it, like a person can create macros or create mouse macros to kind of emulate the stuff. For the most part, yeah. But with Blender though, we've actually created a plugin for Blender, so it's pretty seamless. But for your business, I think it'd be like really good. It was like
Gears are turning.
And yeah. So, any other questions?
So what's the price point?
We're looking at probably like $60, $80 somewhere in there, and then like hardware is just getting really cheap. So if you kind of balance it to existing hardware, like if you go into a music studio, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars in equipment and just like a small like little piece, where we can emulate that software on a touchscreen. So it's like the price point is like really good. And the monitor, probably $300 to $400 for a 24-inch touchscreen monitor. So. Oops. There.
So do you have customers right now?
2 years
Where are you at as far as that?
So 2 years ago, we brought it out into market for about 3 months, and in that 3 months, we got 2,200 customers, and then we kind of backed down from it was just me at the time. So I shouldn't say we, I should say me. But like we were kind of, or I was kind of like, I was just inundated with like all these bug fixes and bug requests, and I was like, but I had like these views for creating an editor for where people can design their own screens. So I went to my customers and I was like, hey, what if I just concentrate on this editor, kind of take this off the market for a little while? I told them, hey, it's going to be about 6 months, and 2 years later, this is where we're at now. But everyone was fine with it. It was a really good thing. But yeah, we had about 2,200 customers
So
originally.
people find you via the internet, I assume? Or
For right now, we're getting ready to run Indiegogo, so we've been kind of in like a shadow mode for a little while. Yep.
So a recording studio could replace their big board with?
Not necessarily, but yeah, it's because there is like the tactile response that a lot of people like. But like a lot of other, but like if you're doing a mix down or something like that, like I'm a musician, so like if you're doing a mix down, you can kind of step back and just kind of sit off the couch and kind of like listen to things, or like walk in different parts of the room, be able to adjust stuff, or even be able to like control stuff in the studio and other pieces of hardware and whatnot in the studio.
Are you at the mercy of like third-party plugins? Kind of like if software changes, like is that going to crash the software that you set up from a controller standpoint, like with Final Cut upgrades?
Final Cut is a pretty good example. No, because they with the way their plugin development works, it's pretty much.
You're basically the same boat that anybody else is.
Yeah, exactly. We just modify it a little bit. Yeah, exactly. So any other questions? Yep.
So, when you buy this tool, you can produce as much as you want with it, as far as the.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Is it like Windows-based or is it tablets?
It's Windows-based. Windows-based. So what the plan is to create like a community where people can design their own and share them, and maybe even create like a marketplace where people can sell and can design their own and then sell them as well.
So it's like an executable?
So yeah. And then like the scripting languages, and I didn't even cover that because I totally forgot about it. But we have our own scripting language called SonicScript, but you can also use Lua, or you can even design things with if you're familiar with like HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. You can design your own controls around that too. Kind of exposes all of our functions to that.
How much are you trying to raise on it?
Just 80,000. Yeah. So, and I'll probably post something later. We're trying to get the Indiegogo going this week, but it's been like really super busy trying to get it going. But probably I'll post out, even like $1. If people can just donate like $1, it pushes our up on the list of things for people to view. So when I post it, I'd really appreciate it if people could like just that $1 would help us something. So.
One more question?
Sorry, do you have any like beta testing plans now that they?
Yeah, we have beta testers. I'm gonna allow the Indiegogo people to be part of the beta test too. So.
Great, thank you so
Oh,
much.
you're welcome.
And we have a technological Thanks for rolling with us. So TC New Tech had a